Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review, and next up is the Walgreens Exclusive Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection Dino Thunder White Ranger. Now the weird thing about this is we know it's a Walgreens exclusive because some great folks over on Twitter did their research, did their digging, and found out that it would be exclusive to Walgreens using the UPC and everything because this is released overseas. The oddest thing about it is that this has not officially been announced by Hasbro. Now, sometimes those kinds of things happen, but with collector line figures, they usually get some form of announcement. I thought we should have gotten that in the Power Rangers Fan First Friday, but all they announced was Wave 6, and the live stream was pretty lackluster, so it's just odd that we're not getting announcements on things. So that Zeo Megazord is overseas. Big Bad Toy Store had it listed for less than a day, I think. That thing still hasn't been officially announced, and it's out. People have it. There's reviews out there. So what the hell is going on with Hasbro and Power Rangers? I don't get it. It's a little shocking to me that there's just been no announcement yet. I'm sure it's coming. They're still releasing quality figures. Yes, they're lacking paint apps, and this figure is a prime example of that. But the figures themselves are still really good. They still do some really good things. So I don't want to completely dismiss them because I still enjoy the figures. But something's definitely just weird. I wouldn't even say, you know, it's a problem or it's broken. It's just weird. But anyway, the Dino Thunder, awesome artwork again on the side, looking very cool. But notice the black outline of the visor. Son of a bitch. They did that on the package. They don't do it on the figure, but whatever. Wraps around the side, so that looks really cool. On the other side, we get that same image on the back of the package. We actually get a look of the figure with its accessory flame effect thing with the feathers and the arrows. So that looks really cool. But again, visor has the black outline. But there it is. So now let's get it open and get the review going. White Ranger Dino Power. Here is Trent out of the package, and a very cool looking figure from the shoulders down. Don't look at the head. Don't look at the head. It's not good. The helmet's terrible. It's bad. It's bad. But anyway, let's actually take a closer look and zoom in at the figure, but let's take a look at the accessory. So an interchangeable head, interchangeable hands, an awesome effect piece, and a cool feather sword. So let's zoom in. Okay, so here is his Drago sword. So this is basically a feather. It looks pretty good. The plastic is very shiny, so it's like a hard white plastic. So it kind of looks, the white plastic itself looks a little cheap, but it's not too bad with the gold paint on there. It's just a shiny plastic, which I don't really care for, but it's not done terribly. The sculpt of it does look nice. The paint on there is done well as well. So that is the first accessory. Next we have interchangeable hands, as you can see there. Then we have the Trent head sculpt, and I think this looks absolutely fantastic. So usually with these older seasons, we see that Hasbro has some difficulty in doing the head sculpts because they have to be sculpted based off of images as opposed to like 3D scans and things like that. So I just recently got the SPD Red Ranger and the Blaze Cyber Villain. So now I am 100% caught up with the Lightning Collection. So thank you, Paul, for the Blaze, and thank you, Jerome, for the SPD Red Ranger. I appreciate it, guys. So with those ones, they absolutely look fantastic because those are pretty newer seasons, so they were able to probably do a lot more things. So with something older like this, Hasbro did a really good job. The next thing is this awesome effect piece. So this is done in a translucent orange color. It's very soft and pliable, but it is done really nice. So you can see 1 arrow, 2 arrow, 3 arrow, 4 arrows shooting from this, and it has that lightning effect to it. That just looks fantastic. I really like the way that looks. And then the Drago sword, you can actually just like slip in between some of these effect pieces however you kind of want to do it. And that is really nice, and it holds quite nicely on there. So that is really cool. Now looking at the figure, that's going to be a little bit of a problem. The figure overall looks good, but this helmet is done just so bad. Oh man, they sculpted the outline of the visor but didn't paint it. Now Hasbro has been known lately for their lack of paint apps on stuff like this, like the Morpher. It's just all white instead of having little gold and red and black in there. But the helmet You know, I mean, I get back of the figure sometimes, but the helmet, how did they miss that? Now, lots of speculation going on that it's a factory error, a running change will happen down the line. I'm thinking that's probably not going to happen, and it's just Hasbro just dropped the ball somewhere, somehow. Who knows? I mean, the figure isn't even officially announced yet, so who knows what's going on. Only some Walgreens have started to get it, but it's been kind of spread out across the country. It sounds like most stores are only getting in one at a time. I've seen some get two, so it's just kind of weird. We'll see if a later release comes out with the head sculpt, you know, fixed with the black paint. It just, I don't know. And even the red seems a little thin. I think it should be a little bit wider, I guess, or taller. But anyway, looking at the rest of the figure, the shield armor, this looks incredible. The paint apps are done for the most part nicely. The black isn't lined up too well on mine right in here, but that's not that big of a deal. Still looks really good. I like the sculpt of it. It's done softly and it just kind of rests on there, but that looks really good. The gold paint on the black. The rest of the figure does look awesome. I really like the black and white paint scheme. So that looks really cool. The boots, these black lines right here, they're actually sculpted and painted. So that is very nice. So again, it looks good, but man, that helmet is trash. What were they doing? And then the sword sheaths in like so. So there it is. Let's zoom out and look at his articulation, but pay no attention to that helmet. Oh, well, I guess while we're at it, let's pop that helmet off and put Trent's head on there. And that looks really good. Really like that. We've got to be getting a Dino Thunder Black Ranger Tommy pretty soon if we got the White Ranger, right? It's got to be coming, but I bet they're going to wait on that a little bit and give us the Red Ranger first, but really cool. Okay, so let's look at White Ranger's articulation. So he can look down somewhat. It does feel like he's very low on the neck, so getting him to look up, he can only look up so much before you pop it off, because again, it's very low on the neck. Of course, you get the full rotation, you get some tilt and pivot going on in there, not a whole lot. You can get the shoulder to go up that high. The shield really doesn't get in the way. You could still do the full rotation in there, of course. He has a butterfly joint, so you can get the arm to go back that much. You can get it to go forward that much. That works out. You have an upper bicep swivel there. You got a double jointed elbow, like so. Wrists swivel and they hinge. You have the torso rocker, so you can get him to tilt to the side that much, tilt to the other side that much. You can get him to go back a little bit, not a whole lot. You can get him to go forward that much, and then we have the inverted ab crunch, of course. So going back, you can get him to go back that far. Getting them to go forward is a little bit tough, and it's got to kind of bend in on that belt buckle there. You can go that far forward. There is no waist swivel, but again, you have the swivel at that upper torso. Legs go out that far apart, which is great. He can kick forward. Ooh, only that much. That's not good. You can kind of work around it and get it to go a little bit higher. Doesn't really go back. You have an upper thigh cut there. Double jointed knee. Boot swivel there at the top of the boot. Foot hinges down. Hinges up, ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So again, same articulation with every single Power Ranger figure. There is the Dino Thunder White Ranger. Okay, and to show his alternate hands on the figure, we have them like so. And like there. And the finger and the thumb are actually molded together, so that's not something that you're going to be able to separate, so you can't hold the sword with that hand. And then, of course, and I didn't talk about this earlier, this triangle right there on the back of the hand, that should be painted black. We didn't get that. These gold bracelet pieces here should have black lines in between those things. The sword should have a black line down the center of it. So there's all kinds of missing paint apps across all these figures. You know, this on the sword, you know, I kind of get. The wrists, I kind of get. The hands, they definitely been lacking on, because the Wave 1, what was that? Dino Charge Red Ranger had the silver painted on his hands, but then Dino Charge Gold didn't, and the Dino Charge Black did not. So that's one of the lacking things that we've seen from Hasbro. And then the accessory, that the black line down here, as much as it would have been nice to get, I get it. It's a little tiny line. It would have been hard to paint. They probably wouldn't have done it cleanly. But that's what we're getting. So I'll give you my final thoughts. You went, get this, they even show the damn black paint on the sword and his morpher painted. What the hell? Okay, so my final thoughts on the figure. The more and more that I'm kind of messing with it and stuff, the more and more that I'm disappointed. The Drago sword really should be longer. And then he can't, like the hilt of it, he can't actually hold it with both hands like he was able to in the show. So just the more and more I kind of go on with this, the more disappointed I am. Which it is what it is. It's definitely one of the weaker attempts at Hasbro to release a Ranger figure, especially one that's going to be an exclusive. So it's tough. I've really been liking the Lightning collection a lot lately, and I still do, and I still like the figure. The figure itself looks great, but it's the little things, right? Like the sword should have been longer. You know, maybe the black line throughout some of the areas would have been nice. The morpher painted would have been nice. All these things would be nice. Why Hasbro isn't doing them, we don't know. I don't think it's where everyone says, oh, Hasbro doesn't care about the line, they don't care about the brand. I disagree. I think they do care about the brand. Action figures isn't everything when it comes to Power Rangers. Yes, Hasbro is a toy company, however, they are a large corporation that extends out into other different things, not just toys. So as a whole, I'm sure they're putting in a lot of effort into Hasbro or into Power Ranger. We'll see. I think a new season, you know, I think they're going to announce the cast soon or whatever it is. They did some kind of joke on Twitter and people got upset, whatever the case may be. But hopefully we get to a point where we do see better paint apps on the figures. If we keep telling Hasbro, why are you releasing things that are half-assed? Hopefully they'll listen. They say they listen, right? In the live stream, they said, we heard all your comments about Goldar, so here we go with a new one with improvements. You know, I expect to see those things happen, but not for something less than a year later to release like the Goldar. But, you know, if we raise our concerns enough about lack of paint apps on the morpher, the accessories, the damn helmet, that's the biggest one. It's like, how do you miss that? I mean, really? You know, the black that would have been on the back of his hand, okay, minor. But the visor, that's a big deal. So as much as I want to praise Hasbro on their Power Rangers line, I really can't do it on this figure as a whole. Again, aesthetically, the figure looks really good, but the accessories and those missing paint apps are just terrible. But you guys let me know down in the comments below all your thoughts on what's going on with the Power Rangers Lightning collection, your thoughts on this figure in particular. Have you received it or seen it at your local Walgreens? I'm curious. Let me know all down in the comments below. If you guys liked the video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Even though I know I've been kind of a downer in this video, hit that notification bell so you can get notified when all my videos go live. And as always, thank you for watching.